road lane, supposed to shine, feel more like a stain.
Close Enemies is an all-star rock band funded by Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton, featuring drummer Tony Brock, guitarist Peter Stroud, Trace Foster, and vocalist Chasen Hampton. Close Enemies is releasing their self-titled debut album, Close Enemies, on March 13th, following singles like Sound of a Train, Inside Out, Sweet Baby Jesus, Rain, and More Than I Could Ever Need, with pre-orders available for signed blue vinyl editions. So tonight, we are sitting with a band that feels less like a supergroup and more like a seismic event. Legends from Aerosmith, The Babies, Sheryl Crow's World, AC/DC's Inner Circle, and a frontman built to carry all that fire. This is the kind of lineup you don't want to miss or witness. Please welcome members of the band Close Enemies to Interviewing the Legends. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ray. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Ray.
Thanks for having us, brother.
Doing
Hey,
good,
buddy.
man. I just want to mention, I did have Tony on the show for everybody. Now, it was October 29th. No, I'm sorry, 2019. And we were promoting I'll Have Some of That and the Babies Anthology. I just want to mention that. And
yeah.
because I'm a big fan of the Babies, of course. And I've had Wally on. Wally's a great guy, Wally Stalker. And not too long ago, I had John Wade on the show, which was really cool.
Good.
Who are the babies?
Yeah. Look,
Are we supposed to
That's
know
my
that
line.
band?
we're still
Ray.
doing. We're still doing it, Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, we want to apologize. Tom's a little under the weather, so he won't be on this Zoom. We're really sorry. He wants to send his love your way and said that he's just sorry. He's got a sore throat and he needs to stay
Right.
flat.
I don't blame him. Well, all the great things for Tom, and we hope he gets better soon. I talked to Shauna O'Donnell, who's a publicist, and she was telling me how he was under the weather, that he might be on, but I guess he got worse. Anyway, we'll miss Tom today, but he's with us in spirit anyway. So how did you guys first get together?
Prison work release. Oh, God. Let me take this and work our way around, boys. This is quick.
Okay.
So 2000, during COVID, I actually got really, really sick, and they didn't know if I was going to survive. Long story short,
crap,
but I did. Well, fortunate, unfortunate, depends on which person you are in my life. I made it. And I decided that at that point, the reason I'm on this earth is to play music. It's all I've ever really done. So I was like, I'm going to put together one last amazing band. I'm going to get all the people that I know, because I know everybody, right? I mean, I've been doing this for 50 years, 40-something. So started working with the singer Gary Steer, who we call our secret weapon. He's our sixth member of the band. He's unable to tour because of his health issues. So we write with Gary every chance we get. And we started working on some songs. And after a couple songs, we were like, these are really, really good. And I said, okay, well, let's move on to the next person we want to add to the band, which was Peter Stroud. And so we had sent a few songs over to Peter. He knew they were coming because I'd talked to him before, but because we'd kind of been looking for something. And so I sent the songs over to Peter. And Peter, can you take it from there, buddy, and tell him what went on in your world at that point?
Yeah, well, we attempted a band scenario that didn't quite pan out. So then Trace, while he was out with Aerosmith, had spoken with Tom. I at that time, there were just members that were not quite falling into place.
Mhm.
So he said, well, we could get together with Tom. I said, well, I know just the drummer, Tony Brock. Tony and I have been wanting to do something together for years. We've been friends for 20 years. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of the Babies and everything that Tony has done. So, I've always wanted to play with him. So it seemed like a perfect natural fit to have Tony playing with Tom. And so, yeah, that was nucleus, and then take it from there. Chasen.
Chasen.
He's waiting
See,
for
we
the
don't
cue.
talk over each other. We pass it around.
These guys had obviously gone through a bunch of singers. I felt like I was on The Voice for a little bit of a time, but out of nowhere, I actually was in Boston, and I'd been teaching for a long time. I figured my time on the stage was long gone, and I got married and have kids and the whole
Mhm.
bit. And I went and did this little charity recording where I was producing this little girl for a Christmas song.
Oh, cool.
And the studio owner was like, "Hey, man, are you ever into doing background vocals for anybody?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, yeah. If you have demo work or anything, hit me up. I'd love the extra work." And sure enough, all of a sudden, I got this call from Trace and Peter, and they were calling me, and he was very apprehensive on the phone, but he was like, I got your number from the guy at the studio, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. You're looking for background vocals?" He's like, "Actually, we're looking for a lead singer,
Mm.
but." He's like, "We heard some of your demos, and I wasn't really sure who you were on the song, and where are you on the song?" And I'm like,
I didn't like it. Tell him.
Yeah,
You can admit
yeah.
it. I didn't like it at all.
he didn't like what I was doing, but he finally got to the chorus, and he's like, "Who's the guy singing on the chorus?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's me. I'm all the voices." And he's like, "Okay, all right." He's like, "That's what I'm looking for." So I'm like, "Hey, sign me up." And he took it back to the guys, and they asked me to send a video of me performing live, just to see me in front of a live audience and stuff. And randomly enough, because my ignorance of the Babies, I really didn't know a lot about the Babies.
Really?
And I sent a song of me singing "When I See You Smile." It's like the only thing I had from bad English, obviously. But
Right.
that was one of the last things I had done in front of a big crowd. And I had actually done it on the show that I was on with Disney, which you probably know about. And they saw it, and it was almost like meant to be, because I'm sure Tony saw it and was like, "Oh, I love, I know this song because, of John and the whole bit." And it was almost kind of meant to be. All these weird things just started happening. The planets aligned, and before I knew it, they were calling me up, and I'm getting texts from Tom, and I'm just like, "What is happening?" It's kind of just incredible. So
Awesome.
we had a blast. They actually sent me a song. They sent me "Sound of a Train," which was our first
Right.
single. And they said, "Can you record this?" And I literally recorded it in my bedroom. And at that time, I was just losing my dad. He had passed away, but man, I gave it my all, and just, gave it everything I had. And it's actually what you hear on the record. We never
Mhm.
re-recorded it.
Tell him what I said to you when you were sending it in. So he sends it in, and everyone that was trying out to sing, they were trying to be very like in between the lines. They weren't trying to do their own thing. And I knew he had something, man. And I was like, "Look, sing it again, and do things that you probably think aren't right. We just want to hear what you got." And man, that's when he went like,
Okay. You want
wow.
me to
He was like,
step
"You
on the
want that?"
gas? All right. Okay. I didn't
And
want to over-sing it,
that's when I told these guys, I said, "I'm telling you, we found our guy." And then I actually met Chasen in Boston. So
Huh.
That's right.
Ja-
You were on tour, and we
Yeah, I was
we
on-
ran that
Chasen,
up.
you look such a dad right now.
Aw.
On stage, you have the Brian Johnson cap,
Yeah.
and you look badass.
Did you say
Yes.
dad ass?
I
Yeah,
will admit, Ray, to be completely honest with you, I am sitting in pickup line at my child's school. I can't lie. So you caught me.
Funny. That is so
The
funny.
rock and roll lifestyle, man.
Exactly.
Look out.
Ray, I
Exactly.
guess you can be the creator of that word, dad ass.
Dad
That's-
ass.
You're gonna get some shirts and some hats. I'm dad
I like
ass.
that. I like that.
Done.
You guys got a lot of concert dates coming to Florida, which thank you for that. You've got Encore Live on January 25th. That's like 10 minutes from my home.
Nice.
So
Wow.
I'm hoping I did ask for a guest pass for that. And
we
so
got you.
I wanted to cover the show for you guys. You
We'll
know?
check with somebody.
Yeah, I want to cover the show.
We know people.
You know people. Good.
Hey, Tony, you
Yeah.
got this?
You better be there, buddy.
I understand you know a guy from the Babies.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
I'm gonna come and drag you out if you're not.
That's right, man.
Hey, so this place is brand new, right? Encore Live.
It's brand new.
Because we're one of their like first bands really in there, so it's very. What did you ever go to the venue when it was whatever it was before? I can't remember.
Parrot or something like that. No, I haven't.
No, it's something totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A country room, or
Yeah,
at
it was a
least the
country
room that we're in. Yeah, I forget what it was called.
Well,
They
we
just
need
pulled- they
more
just-
venues, you know, like that. You know. with
Yeah.
the bands.
The world does, man. It's amazing how they're just going
Yeah.
away.
I know.
Well, yeah,
It's
we're playing the
sad.
grand opening weekend. So
Yeah, that's right. But you'll be in Largo also, which
Yep.
is a great venue.
Awesome.
I've covered a lot of shows. I covered the Zombies, Montrose, a lot of people there. It's a great
Nice.
place. And
And
yeah, I
you're
just
coming
want to
there
mention.
too, right?
What's that?
You're coming there too, right?
No, Mark will be there.
Tony, go get him.
He'll send me some pictures, man. He's a great photographer.
Great.
Awesome.
But I want to mention, let's see, today's the 14th. So you guys are going to be at the 21st. You'll be in Atlanta. You'll be in Largo on the 23rd. The Culture Room was the 24th. That's in Fort Lauderdale. That's my old stomping grounds. The 25th at Encore Live, Mount Dora, Florida, the 29th, and Fort Myers, January 30th. A lot of Florida dates. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
heck
great.
yeah,
man.
this is the time of year to be down your way.
Tell them where we were last year in January, boys.
Freezing. Freezing.
Where?
New England. And up
East
in
Coast,
Boston.
New England. Yep. Philadelphia. We're like, this sounds like a great idea.
Oh, man. Well,
But
since
being-
you're going to be in Sarasota, I got to ask you, Joe Perry's got a home here. You guys
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that. You think he'll show up?
So does Brian Johnson
That's right. Yeah, Bird King.
and Robin Zander and a whole bunch of other people that
That's
we
right.
know and know us. So
Rick
And
Perry's
now
you
on
know
Ed
who's
it.
going to be there.
Yeah.
And rolling a Collective Souls down there now too.
There you go. You don't know who's going to be at our show. We know you're going to be there, though.
Be nice if Joe was here.
Yeah, I mean, we have definitely extended that that invite to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joe's been seen around here with Steven having lunch
Yeah.
a few times, which is pretty cool.
At McDonald's,
Yeah, McDonald's.
Were they working or eating?
Probably just eating. I got it. I didn't. I guess it was too early to get a copy of the album, so they didn't send it to me. So
What?
yeah, I didn't. They didn't send it to me. I asked several times, but anyway, I did love every one of those 5 tracks I've listened to so far. So
Nice.
let's talk about that. I want to say my favorite song has got to be "More Than I Could Ever Need." That's
Excellent.
a great song, man.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
that's one that Tom brought to the table. So we all worked on it together at Peter's house and helped with the arrangement and everything and put it together as a team. But the nucleus of it was Tom. Well, Tom brought in, and as you can tell by the bass line, the melody, he's so melodic in his playing that it worked out to be all of our favorites. So
It's a great song. You know, it kind of sounds, the beat kind of sounds like a spy thriller. You know,
We've
it's
been
got that-
saying forever that it's
You know?
definitely that song
Well,
should be in the movie soundtrack.
Oh,
Do you mean-
guaranteed.
A
Do you
Quentin
mean-
Tarantino
Yeah.
would be amazing with that song, right?
Let's contact him.
I think I think he means Spice Girls.
That's got to be my favorite song, though, so far, man. It's a beautiful.
Well, there's
tune.
5 more you haven't heard that I think that I'm sorry you didn't get to hear it because you will obviously, but
yeah, we'll send you the link. We'll send you.
Okay, awesome. Well,
If you-
I heard "Sound of a Train," which is another great track. Love the guitar riff on that. Wow, you know, it kind of sounds a little Beatles-ish. You know, the right?
the walk down.
Yeah.
Actually, want to know a funny story is that walk down. I was sitting with Rick Nielsen backstage at a show one night. We had 2 guitars, and I was showing him. So I was asking him a question about a Beatles song, And then he was showing me it, so I flipped it around a little bit. Then when I flipped it around, it became what you hear.
Mhm.
And Rick said something like, "It still sounds like the Beatles." And it's funny you said the exact same thing.
That's funny. Great guitar riff. The vocals are incredible. Great bass.
Thanks.
That should be a hit, in my opinion. That sounds like a radio hit, doesn't it?
There's drums on it too, you know.
Yeah, it did.
Fantastic. The drumming throughout is incredible. Best drum I've ever heard in my life.
I'm waiting for Tony. Tony's going, and
Ray, that's the best part, I think, of this whole band
I-
we've all fallen in love with
Yeah.
is that we all get to bring something to the table.
Yes.
Tom brought that in. As soon as I came in, they were like, "What do you got?" And I started writing lyrics and writing melodies and stuff. And there's no bad ideas. And we literally sit in the basement of Peter's house and like old school, like we're little kids after sixth grade, and just hammer it out. It's incredible.
I feel like Peter's mom's going to show up any minute and kick us all out.
or make you sandwiches or something.
Right? You look hungry. You need to eat more. You look hungry.
Here's some apple slices.
Come down.
You don't forget to do your homework. You and your little friends need to stop pretty soon so you can do your homework.
That's okay.
Or the
You can
famous
live all
line.
over again.
Or the famous line, "Can you turn it down, please?"
Yeah.
No, I say, my mom never told me to turn it down, and I was in the basement.
Yeah.
I was in the basement, and I had a Vox amp, but she never told me to turn it down, which was great.
Good for her.
My father told me when I started playing after about 6 months, he goes, "You know what? You're getting really good." He said, "You know what you need to do?" He goes, "We need to get you a better place for you to play." He moved me into the basement.
Yeah, of course. It's the best place to be.
Yeah, especially if you're a parent.
I know. My dad had stores in D.C. for years, retail electronics.
Oh, wow.
So my band decided to promote the store. We played in the lobby of the store.
Wow.
And after one song, we got kicked out by the cops because we didn't have a permit.
Oh my God.
So you've got a Vox amp, huh? You still?
I had a Vox amp.
Oh, you had it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter's still got one. We use it. It's very cool.
It
One
is
of my
cool.
favorites.
When we were growing up in England, I was telling the boys, I don't know if you remember the WEM columns.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what speakers they had, but you could carry one on your shoulder.
Hmm.
And that was, if you had one of those growing up, or two of those, obviously, I mean, you were the bee's knees. You were the big boys in town.
And it used to be a kit. You'd put it together in
Wow.
the
Yeah.
early days. Yeah, you put it
Yeah.
together.
Wow.
I just had Billy Bob Thornton on the show, and
He's awesome.
he did the Boxmasters. That's his band.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
covered his show. We hung out together and whatever. But they use Vox amps as well.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is really cool because you don't see that much anymore.
You know why you don't see it? Because you can't. They're not the most reliable amp live ever made. You want to know why Brian May had 40 of them on stage? Because only 13 worked at any given time.
That's fine.
We even have one of those WEM amps, or I have one here that Tom has played bass through, has recorded bass through. And
Actually, more than I could ever need, I think, was played through that WEM amp. There you go. That bass line was through the WEM. There you go.
Oh wow.
yeah, it was a WEM Dominator bass amp.
Oh, cool.
And he played through that. And if you listen really, really closely, you will hear at the end this sort of buzzing kind of sound.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh no, the speaker's going bad or whatever. And then so I am dealing with the speaker, and a piece of wire comes flopping out of the back. It's
Oh.
just like some piece of random junk that had been in the speaker. After that, it sounded great.
It's
it
probably
went
been in
down
that
the
cabinet
tape.
for 40 years, you know.
Yeah. Could have
But
been
it
a
went
rat.
down the tape with that little buzz. And hey, I wasn't going to get Tom to replay that part. It sounded great.
Yeah. Well, some of the other songs I want to mention, Inside Out, to me sounded kind of Aerosmith in a way, which was great.
That's cool.
It's Sweet Baby Jesus. That's Aerosmith meets Joe Walsh.
Wow. That's a
All right.
first.
Yeah, man. I
like
can
that
hear Joe
comparison.
Walsh. I can hear Aerosmith. The slide guitar. Talk about Sweet Baby Jesus.
I had the riff for that for a while. I've been sitting on it. And Peter and I and Gary, Gary Steer, the guy I told you, our secret weapon, Gary.
Right.
Before we had found Tony and Tom or Chasen, we had all met up in Atlanta for a weekend, and I just said I want to present this idea, and I remember we recorded it, and actually the guitar part, which was recorded to a click track, is the guitar part that made it. Peter, I think some of your slide was the same slide from that day too.
Same
right?
part.
So we didn't even.
Yeah.
It was we did 3 songs in a 2-day weekend, and it was like we should have. It's that thing. Looking back now, we should have kept going and not went home because we were just on a roll. We were just coming up with some amazing stuff. So I had basically Sweet Baby Jesus, the idea. And then we needed a part, and we just clicked them out. Peter and Gary, like, what about this, and it's just, that's what, like, Chasen was saying, every one of us are songwriters. We got 6 songwriters in a band. Most bands are lucky if they have 1 or 2. So we are, and we're all very pro, and none of us have egos or attitudes that are like, oh no, I like my idea better. We know, like Tony says, Tony only plays his drums. He plays the part for the song, not for Tony, which is what he does. And we all do that. We all know at the end of the day, we'll try anything and everything, but we know what's best. We just kind of, it works. It's very organic. It's fun.
It's funny, the band name, Close Enemies, that's how most bands end up.
I know, right?
They
Well,
continue
we
to play,
thought we
they're
just-
close enemies.
Well, that name will keep us from breaking up.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope you guys last a long time, man, because we need bands.
Well, you think about it. You think about all these great pop bands and that have multiple writers, multiple singers, so forth. They usually splinter after the second record. It seems
Right.
Jellyfish is a prime example of a band that should have stuck around because they had 2 to 3 to 4 monumental writers and singers in that band. And it's a shame bands of that type can't hold it together. With our band, we just came into it with the right attitude.
Sure.
And so we don't plan on going anywhere.
Well, you guys are all stars too, that's why
I don't
Ringo,
think we have anything to prove, which is important. When you don't have anything to prove, you don't have to be an idiot or a jerk or something to,
Exactly.
And it's like, we did an interview once with a guy from management talking to him, and at the end he's like, okay, I'll let you know. And I said, one thing I want to tell you. When's the last time you interviewed a band where the singer didn't say one word? Chasen just sat and he was taking notes and listening, and I'm like, never. Singers are always like, what about this? What about that? All over the place.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice and refreshing just to be what you get. We're like this, like what you got right now. We're like this all the time.
Well, Rain was the other song I listened to. Another great song.
That's probably my favorite. I think that we did. That song was that probably, guys, right out of every song, that probably has the most of all of us.
Yeah, that's a prime example of us all getting together in the room and just it blowing up into that work that we think represents the band the best.
I gave him a 13-second riff, and by the end of the day, it was done. And then Tony, this is my favorite part. Tony says, it needs something, and he said keyboard. Tony's the one that went down, 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 and as soon as we heard that, we're like, oh my gosh, it just went to a whole nother plateau. It's the amazing part about this band. You just never know what's going to happen. And I had preconceived notions for Rain, like how I thought it was going to sound. I'm glad I didn't even say a word about them because
the band is so tight. The band is
you
so
let
tight.
these guys take it, and it's just like, oh man, it's like, which is great too, because as a writer, right? Usually you got to write the whole song. You got to come in with the whole thing because everybody else looks at you like with deer in headlights, like, oh, I don't know, I don't know. What do you think? And with these guys, you don't want to do that. I like having a 30-second clip and say, here we go, and it's just like before you know it. Wow, man, it's epic,
I tell you, I like what Tony brought to that song because he goes, okay, I got an idea for this climatic part coming up here.
Oh yeah.
and then he just launches into it, and we're just doing Townsend power chords, and he's just going nuts and went, okay, fine, that'll work.
Yeah.
And then when we were singing vocals and Chasen sings over that part, and Tony goes, that was my part.
Yeah, he sang over the freaking drums. What's the matter with you, Chasen? What's up with that crap?
Learn my lesson real
That was
quick.
me big moment.
Yeah, we need more drum solos too.
Well, it's in there. I was in the song. You just can't hear it because Chasen's singing over it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
But it works. Oh, man, does it ever work, right, Tony? That's such a great part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thoroughly enjoy it. It came off, thankfully.
But Tony and I didn't speak for 3 weeks because I didn't mute the vocal.
That's all right. George Harrison sued Ringo back in the day.
See, that's another thing. I'm glad you just said that, Ray, because what we've done is we've created all of our songs have everybody's name on them, equal partnership,
good.
Equal. Because, like we just said,
be.
Rain, perfect example. I mean, as well as Peter knows and Chasen and Tony and Tom, if 5 different guys play something I put down or something Peter puts down, it's going to sound 5 different ways. That's just the way it is. So why would you not expect somebody to be in the room, not to be an equal partner? And I've never understood that,
And not to mention the vocals and the lyrics on that. I believe, wasn't that the first lyric you brought to the table?
Yeah, you guys, I don't know if I was in the band exactly yet, but it was like the second song you guys sent me, and what I remember is he said they would never sing me any melodies or any of their ideas. They just wanted to see what came out of me. So they were like, just scat on it, just what would come naturally. And I was just doing a podcast with some guys, and one of the guys on there was like, 2025, we're gonna make it rain. And I was like, and I wrote that down. And then I started putting it to the chorus, and I'm like, I'm not scatting on this. And I ended up writing all the lyrics and sending it back to them, and they liked it. So it's stuck.
I did send you a melody, and then I love sending him melodies because he sends back something. It's a totally different melody. And I go, yep, that's what I was hearing. Thanks for not listening.
That's funny. Where are you guys at, by the way? Where
we at?
Yeah.
I live in Nashville.
You're in Nashville. Chasen?
I'm in Boston now.
Gosh.
Him and Tom.
Yep.
And Peter?
I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta.
You're
Don't
in
ever
Atlanta?
say Atlanta.
Yeah.
I should slap myself. Atlanta.
And Tony? Are you in England?
I'm in North Georgia, which
North
is
Georgia. Okay. The English
just
part of Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the English part.
You guys are everywhere, man.
Yeah.
We're really not. If you think about it, we got 2 Bostons, we got 2 Atlanta-based area, and I'm in Nashville. So that's why it's really easy for us to get together in Atlanta and do it at Peter's. Anytime, we want to get together and write.
Right.
Which is what we're doing. The reason we're doing the show on the 21st in Atlanta is because we're going to be there a couple days early writing for the second record, which we've already got probably halfway written.
Awesome.
Based on where Tony's sitting, I would have thought he was in a hotel room somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Who's in the picture, Tony? What is that?
That's a beautiful Labrador on the bed.
Oh, okay.
That's very beautiful.
It's one of my wife's favorite pictures. I love it. So,
that's awesome.
Tony, do you live there now, or do you still have a place in England?
No, I moved. When the babies came over in '76,
right?
We came over, and I never went back.
You never went back.
Well, I've been back, obviously.
Yeah.
But the babies were there for 5 years. Then, of course, I joined Rod Stewart. And I had to be in LA. Yeah. So I was there for 28 years or something like that.
You still got the Ron Wood, Rod Stewart look, the hair.
Yeah, I got to keep the Woody. I got to keep my Woody going. You know what I mean?
He's got great hair. He wakes up like that.
The baby's still touring?
Oh yeah, I'm going. We're off to Vegas tomorrow.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Vegas,
and
baby.
Just play the Golden Nugget, and we're all playing in between, but it's like Trace likes to say, this is not a side project for us. This is a band. This is our band, and we're going to see this through. Even though we still have to do. I mean, I'm still doing the babies. Peter's going out with Sheryl, and Trace has to go down with Angus.
Yep.
And Chasen has to be with his kids. So,
Jason's got to pick his kids up from school.
Exactly.
That's my most important job. Sorry.
It is. We've all done it, my friend. We've all
Yeah.
done it. Every one of us has done it. We look back at you and go, "What were you thinking?"
And they got
That's
they
right.
got a cool dad in their mind. They're like, we got a cool dad.
That's
You
right.
know what? I got to tell you something. My daughter one day said to me, she was probably like 6 or 7. She goes, "Dad, were you ever considered cool?" And I said, "You mean like right now?" I'm like, "Cool." She's like, "Yeah, not so much."
Oh man.
Hey, in
Yeah.
this day of age, what's really cool about this band is, we can call ourselves a band that isn't a
Right.
side project, but we can also do the other things that we do.
Sure,
I've played with
sure.
Sheryl for 27 years now, and
That's a long time.
yeah, and we have a wonderful time, and it's
Yeah.
just the way our schedules are. We've sort of gone through it all together to where the touring is a much lighter schedule now, and it allows time for other things, other ways to be creative. And this is our new outlet. I'd say
Sure.
this band brings out everything that I have inside of me that's been pent up that I've wanted to get out.
Cheryl's
That's
cool.
perfect, Kate. That is like,
Yeah.
Peter, that's perfect. I was going to say that when, trying to get people that I love and respect to do this, it was also kind of, in the back of your mind going, like I said, I realize I'm still here. I really want to do what I want to do. And I know there are other people that feel the same way. Even though we do other things, there's still some things that we're able to do in this band that you can't do in other bands or anything else that you do. But this band, there's nobody telling us you can't do that, you can't do this. We try and do anything we want, and it works. I don't think we've even come up with really our style yet. And then because we've been playing together now, that record was written probably done before we really did any shows, right?
Yeah.
So it's been probably a year and a half. So we've been playing on the road together as a band for a year and a half since we recorded that. So, there's a whole lot more of this going on now that, can't wait to, see what happens on the next one.
And so you probably wonder why it's taken us so long to get the record out. But let me tell you, we have learned how to be a record company.
Right.
We have learned how to be a record manufacturer. We have learned how to be our own promoters, publicists,
managers,
managers.
Good for you.
Bus drivers,
recorders, the whole 9 yards. You talk about a learning curve. And
it's important, man, because bands in the past, they had no idea about management and money, and they all got screwed.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You see these bands that lost $3 million. I mean, if we had $3 million, we'd probably be like, yay! But we've all been around so much, and you couldn't really. I'm pretty sure you couldn't get anything past us, But
Good.
But it's a different world. None of us. Chasen's the only one that's probably closest to understanding this whole new way that things are done, the internet way. And we're used to. You do a record, you go out for a year and a half, and you come back in and you do it all over again. That's how you made money,
Yeah.
And the albums don't make any money anymore. Now you just do that because you got to have something to play. It's like
that sucks, doesn't it? You can't sell albums anymore.
You know what sucks to me, Ray, is looking out in the audience and not seeing enough young kids getting into rock and roll.
Yeah.
That upsets me, man. I'm on a mission to save rock and roll with these guys.
Me too.
It drives me crazy.
Hey, I got a book out, about basically teaching the young kids about the classic rock and rollers,
real music.
Yeah. So
when we played at this beautiful theater just this past weekend in Menlo Park, California, just in the Bay Area, this theater called the Guild Theater, and in front of me were these two kids. This girl that looked like maybe she was 14 or 15, and a boy that looked like he was maybe 10 or 11, and we play as a band does with marshals and everything blaring out, not at the level of us seeing Humble Pie or Montrose back in the day, but it's a strong presence blowing off of the stage. And they were glued.
Yeah.
You just don't see that this day of age. Everybody's playing direct.
Yep.
If you're not standing in front of the PA, you're not hearing it. And when you are standing in front of the PA, it just doesn't have the same live presence as a band that gets up there and plays with no tracks,
right?
And
no click.
Puts it out there live.
I'll tell you, coming from the AC. from the AC/DC world, same thing. You know, these guys, I see 3 generations now of people coming to see a band that plays real rock and roll. We play real rock and roll. I mean, it's so they're out there. I mean, you know, people that age do enjoy it and they get into it. We just gotta, like Chasen said, we gotta make it our mission to find every single one of them. So you
and
know,
educate them
and educate them. That's what it is.
While they
And-
can see it, you know, there are definitely some bands out there that are waving the flag. No doubt. There's some young players. There's some great bands out there that are waving the flag. So it's not taking that away from them, but there's just not enough of them.
Well, the thing is, and now you talk about, you know, not even using real amps and none of this stuff. And I'm sitting here looking at a stack of amps behind my computer here, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do without them. It's just like it's like my babies, and it's like no pun intended, Tony. And there's and it's like it's what we do, you know. And it's like I can't imagine anybody playing guitar who has never experienced that. And there's tens of thousands of them out there that have never plugged into one of these amps. It's life-changing when you plug into a real amplifier, right, Peter?
That's right.
There you go. Yeah. Mine's right behind. I got a big stack of high watts and Marshalls and Bobners and Ampegs. And that's how we do what we do. And without that, it isn't what it is. And I know that people just don't seem to care anymore like that. And it's sad, you know?
The music sucked. I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s, you know, and things were good back then. There was disco, you know, but I played Kiss, and at midnight I always played Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix, and I got to go off the playlist and stuff like that, you know.
What station were you at?
In Annapolis, WNEV in Annapolis, which
cool.
It was bought out by Pat Sajak, and then he sold it, and it's gone now. I think WHFS took it over at one time too. They were a good station. But I mean, those were the good old days, you know, when you had community radio, you know, you had a great mix of top 40. You had rock, you had disco, you had new wave. You know, the Cars were really big back then.
Oh, man, no kidding. Let me ask you this. Back then, Peter, we can all agree to this, I'm sure. Back then, disc jockeys were rock stars, man. Where I grew up outside of Chicago, man, you guys were rock stars. It was like you went to the show, and if you somehow even saw backstage, you'd see the DJ, you'd go, oh my gosh, there's such and such. And you know, he's hanging out with the band. And it's like, yeah, man, it was a really cool time, you know?
Yeah. We had a lot of freedom back then.
Yeah.
And now it's all corporate, you know. One corporation owns, you know, 100 stations, you know.
And all the live venues. So there you go.
God, I hate that. You know, and there's no record stores, you know. Good old days.
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do here, Ray. We better get started, guys.
I know. I think you're right. I'm going to shoot some questions at you, okay?
The lack of, I tell you what, the lack of music stores is really sad.
It sucks.
That's a big one, you know.
Yeah.
I remember when the Babies played on top of Tower Records on Sunset.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
And
well, that's how you found new bands, right? That's how you found new bands. You go in and look at an album cover and go, "These guys look cool," and you buy it.
Yeah, and we were, you know, as I was looking at off the top of Tower Records, we're playing these tracks, and you know, everybody's down below Tower Records and going to buy our record because it was released that day, and we could look across, and right on Sunset Boulevard was our billboard.
Right.
Right above our billboard was Free when they were releasing their album. So just to look across and we weren't equal to Free, but I felt honored to be, you know, in that era that we're talking about. So
I met Genesis at Peaches Records in Fort Lauderdale. They did
the
same thing.
Peaches.
You know?
That's Atlanta, right? Peter that was in Atlanta, right? Peaches?
They originated.
Yeah.
But they had branched out, so they had one down Florida.
But the band would come to the record store, sign autographs, and they would do footprints, you know. And
that's what I'm talking about. It was great, you know, wonderful.
Yeah. You climb on top of Tower Records now, which isn't there, they're going to arrest you, by the way, just so you know.
I got some questions. I got one for the band and then individually. I got some questions, okay?
Okay.
You've all played with giants. What's something you can do in this band that you couldn't do in your previous gigs?
Ooh. Is that for everybody?
Yeah, for everybody.
I think the one thing we can do in this band that you don't have to worry about with other bands is we can actually be ourselves. We don't have to be in anybody's box. You know, we
Right,
can, like I
right.
said earlier, we can basically do whatever we want, whatever we feel. You know, whatever material we want to do, whatever style. No one can tell us not to.
We tailor it that way too. I think we honor each other's style and swagger and the whole bit. I mean, I came from a very manufactured background. I grew up with a ton of talented people, but we were always kind of put in a box and told what to do
Hmm.
at the end of the day. So I have to second that, Trace. Being able to rock and roll and let your hair down and just do it your own way and be yourself.
Freedom, freedom.
I'll be
Yeah.
the third to back that. It was essentially what I was going to say. When Trace and I first started, I wanted to make my, well, that sounded stupid, paintbrush just simply a guitar and a Marshall,
Hmm.
period.
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to make that, the tools I will use. And of course, expanded a little, but not much. Pretty
Not
much,
much
I
at
used
all.
one guitar for the most part through the whole show into a Marshall half stack. And from there, I just said, I'm going to play and construct exactly what I want to do with this project. Been there, done that with all these fabulous, amazing artists. I mean, I've
Yeah,
played with
it's
some
fun.
incredible artists,
Yeah.
and just sort of take the experiences I've gathered from them and the knowledge I've gathered from them, which I'm humbly, appreciative of, and put it into my own thing.
Tony, I guess you got a lot more freedom in this band too, right? Because I'm assuming the babies are more structured.
To tell you the truth, I'm probably one in this band that I've always been able to do what I do.
Oh, good, good.
I've never once been told or maybe there's suggestion, maybe now and again, but even with Rod Stewart for 12 years, that's doing what I want to do for that
Awesome.
particular job. I was never, I mean, of course, I felt a little restricted because you have to stay within the bounds of what Rod does,
And
Right,
you had to
right.
wear pants.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to peel the spandex off, but no, I've always been really lucky, especially
That's
like the
good.
babies, Rod
Yeah.
Stewart, everybody I've been lucky enough to play with, but I do feel with this band, I'm getting really excited. So I get
Mhm.
because of the other guys in the band give me encouragement, and I'm allowed to stretch it a little more, which is wonderful. So
When you do what Tony does, that's why he can do whatever he does because, like I said, he plays for the song. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's always done that, which is great.
Right. Right.
yeah,
I literally
wanna-
can tell you by his drum part what song it is. I can take a little section of it and go, I know what song that is because of the way he plays. And it's so much fun playing live with him because he doesn't vary from that. I know what fills coming up. I know how to hit it with my guitar. It's just like, and then we'll just look at each other and just get a big old grin, and it's like, this is so good.
yeah. See that if when I pass away, I want to be remembered as one of the most musical drummers. I don't want to,
Right.
even though I get to do a drum solo, and I was taught to read and everything by Carl Palmer, who was taught by Buddy Rich.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that stuff, but I don't have to prove myself. Even though I love doing the drum solo and showing off a little bit,
Right.
but to play for the song and bring other parts alive to help the other musicians sound good, that's awesome. That makes me feel great.
Mm-hmm. How
I could
about
never imagine another drummer, Tony, ever playing those songs with another drummer now. I don't think we ever
Yeah.
could. It just wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't.
Oh, well, that makes me feel good. Thank
Well,
you.
Tony?
You're
What's it
welcome,
like?
thank you.
You play with a lot of vocalists, a lot of legendary vocalists. What's the unique about driving a band behind Chasen's voice?
He's shorter than everybody else, so at least when I'm on a drum riser, I can see the audience. But it's probably the way he shakes his ass. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe asking Tony first wasn't a good idea, man.
Well, everybody's been picking on Tony, so it's his turn.
Yeah.
But it's all in love, though. We love him. He's great.
Yeah. This is what we do, Ray. So yeah, if you can't take it, get out.
That's right. That's right.
No, to answer your question, Chasen holds his own, if not better than every other artist I've been lucky enough to play with.
Cool.
That's not just because we're doing this at the moment, and really it's an honor to be behind that man and to get that feedback and listen to him sing every night. I'm playing off of his vocals too.
Right.
So
how about your drumming's always had that British swagger. How about your blend with Tom's American rock backbone?
Yeah, well, I've had to beat him up a couple of times too. Right?
You had to English him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is why he's not here today, I believe.
That's why he's not feeling well.
Yeah. I've had to put a little bit of grease on him,
Yeah.
It's when Tom and I immediately, as soon as we started playing together down in Peters, the glue was there, which you got to have in any band. Yeah. So it's just a natural thing, and his melodic playing. I mean, Andy Fraser was one of my favorite bass players of all time because of his melodic melodies, and Tom is the same way, but in a bit more of a rock and roll style. And I can hold it down. I'm gonna just let him do his melodies and put a shit-eating grin on my face,
The first time they played together, Peter and I just looked at each other and we were just like, we don't even need to be here. These guys are good.
That's funny.
We'll come back when you guys are done. It's like,
exactly.
It's so good.
Peter, here's a question for you.
All right.
You're known for taste, tone, and restraint. How does your approach shift when you're in the band built for a heavier rock muscle?
Yeah, not too far off that grid,
right?
Just simply because I grew up in that 70s period where you remembered the solos in your brain, just as you did the melody that the singer brought to the song. So, like solos were hooks, and I'm just sort of that era. I appreciate all the improv and all that. I grew up listening to all of them. I took in everything at the time. Allman Brothers to, Hendrix, to Jeff Beck, to The Who, all of it. But what really seems to work for me is just memorable lines that hooks to the solos as well. And so the people I've played with are of that same ilk and drove it into my head too, from Sheryl to Henley, all of them. We're all just and you listen to you can sing every Eagles, every Henley solo, whatever. Same with Sheryl. It's every song, every single part of it is a hook of a good song. Put it that way.
Hey Peter, I saw a cover band when I was in high school do Hotel California, and the guitar player missed one of the solo parts, played something different, and I was upset. I was like physically upset, like that's not right. It's like, because you do know those. I mean, like you said, it's is ingrained in us as much as the song is. It really is.
Yeah, so that's my mindset, even still with this band.
The guitar moments on the record where you thought, what's a good guitar moment on the record where you thought, yeah, that's the sound. That's the sound of the band.
Rain for me.
Rain, yeah.
And, Sweet Baby Jesus, all of them. I mean, it was all impromptu. For me, Rain, that solo was the first thing that came to mind pretty much. I think I maybe honed it in a little bit, but not much. That was from when we were, because we played through it a million times as the day progressed until we said, okay, let's record it. So, but I think, man, I tell you, I think everything on this record reflects pretty much where, at least personally speaking, where my head's at.
Yeah. Well, it's a great debut start. I mean, I wish I had the rest of the album to listen to. Usually I
will get it today.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have it. You'll have it shortly.
I appreciate that because I'm going to add like 3 tracks before the interview of you guys, of the singles, the video. So
Right.
Cool.
I always do that.
Sweet.
And I do
Awesome.
that, and of course I don't get paid on YouTube because it's copywritten, but I don't care. I just want a good video of you guys.
Somebody's getting paid somewhere. We're not sure why or who, but we know
I never
all
get
our hard
paid.
work. Somebody's enjoying our work. I don't know.
I never get paid. I understand what you guys are going through. I'm an author. I've got 4 books out there, and
Yeah.
I think it's all about get the cash up front and then just be thankful it's all you got.
I guess I'm just glad I'm around YouTube and all over the internet.
Yeah.
It look like I'm famous, but I'm not.
Right?
We don't even get the cash up front anymore.
I know. That's right. If famous paid your bills, you'd be doing okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
When did Ray? When did the last book come out?
Recently, The Liberty Code. It's a sci-fi book.
Right.
They've actually featured it on Times Square on the big
Oh, nice.
TV.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Fantastic! I'll get that.
I
We
appreciate
should
it.
talk one day, Ray. I've actually got a couple book ideas I've been working on myself that are kind of that genre. Maybe we could.
I can help you.
Yeah.
All right. So the next interview will be Close Enemies interviews Ray,
That's right.
Cashel, the author.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Rock and Roll Chronicles you guys will love because
Cool.
it's all interviews, and it's me with guys like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. But a lot of the guys in the book now are now gone. Tony Joe White,
Yeah.
you name it. I've interviewed them, and
That's cool.
it's really cool to hear their intimate conversations.
Yeah.
They talk
So-
about everything, politics. They'll talk about religion. I got Ian Anderson talking about religion. Things that rock stars don't usually talk about. And questions I ask that other people don't ask. Not the
Yeah.
typical questions.
That's
It's a good book.
That's good. So
Yeah, it's a good book.
did you get to interview Greg Legg?
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
he was my first producer. And we
Really?
grew
Is
up-
that right?
We grew up together. Yeah. He was a beautiful man.
He was a great guy, very funny. I did Greg Lake, I did Keith Emerson and Palmer as well.
Yeah.
They're funny because I think it was Palmer. I said I just got finished interviewing Greg Lake. He says, "Oh yeah, what's that fat bastard up to?"
Oh
That's
no. Oh,
They were
that's-
cool, and
that's
and
when yeah. That's
I was
when
really-
Greg.
I had a great talk with Keith Emerson, man. If you go to Wikipedia under Keith Emerson, you'll see a part of my interview there that we
Nice.
talked about California Jam and how the
Oh wow.
piano, was flipping around while he was on stage, which was really cool. Tells you how he did it.
Yeah.
I saw the brain salad surgery tour when I was young.
Oh wow, that's a biggie.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
biggie.
Watt sound and the whole 9 yards. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we went out on the road with them for the year and a half when they first came out.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's how I got to hang with Carl for all that time.
Yeah.
But,
Another incredible drummer,
Yeah.
He's the
Rest
last
in
one
peace,
left.
Keith, man. Tragic story.
Yeah.
I know. Keith Emerson, man, that hurt when he did. I get intimate with these guys, just like I'm doing with you guys, and then you hear they pass away, and it's like family almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really
You know
is.
what? It gets worse every day, my friend, because we're getting one step closer.
Well, I think I'm ahead of a lot of you guys. I don't know about Tony.
Hey, that's enough. Of that.
I'll be 67 this month. What
I'm
about you, Tony?
62. I got 62, so there you go.
62.
Yeah.
Peter.
66.
All right, we're about the same age.
Right behind you. Yeah.
What year? 59.
Notice Peter's
or
rubbing
60?
his bursitis out of his shoulder right
59.
now.
I can't lift my arm.
Honey, I can't absorb.
Tony, I won't ask. It's okay.
Tony's on a first name basis with Father Time. That's all you need to know. They're really close.
Well,
And probably in the best shape of all of us because he's
I know.
every night.
I
He
believe it.
is.
No
Absolutely.
kidding.
I remember when we first started booking shows, I asked Tony, And I said, how many shows can you do? I'm thinking, in a week, 2, 4, 6. And he goes, 2. And I go, okay. He goes, a day. And I think he was serious because I'm pretty sure he probably could.
Yeah, I got to stay in shape, 'cause
Good.
I work out every other day if I can.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I got to, otherwise it's not fun. But
Man.
I feel like I think I was telling the boys, I feel like I'm getting, especially with this band, it's giving me excitement and something to play for again. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. So I'm going to enjoy it while I can.
Well, Tony, you look great, man. I really
Thank
mean
you,
that.
buddy. Yeah.
And drumming has a lot to do with it because it's good exercise.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I told the boys I'm having my wheelchair built that goes into a drum riser.
Yeah.
Clicks in.
That the drum riser can spin around.
It just clicks in, go click, click. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
We could actually make it one piece and just attach it to the trailer on.
Well, that's what. Well, I was actually just going to lock it in the drum riser and get put it on the trailer with the drum kit.
Be like one of those fire trucks in the back steering, the back.
That's funny.
Steering the riser down the road. Did you have more questions, Ray? Sorry, we went sideways.
That's all right.
We've been known to do that. Look, squirrel.
Yeah.
Tony, do you still do anything with Rod or when he's on the road?
No, no, not at all. I haven't done anything for years with him. He's
Right.
soon as he hit the Vegas days, I just couldn't do the suit thing. If I was doing a Charlie Watson, I could put a suit on just for myself. I'd love it, right?
Yeah.
But if I had to put a suit on, rest with the other guys, and be told it was getting to that stage, and they were, Rod. When I was with Rod, we were the Rod Stewart group,
Right.
and it started turning into Rod Stewart and his backing band, and so
Yeah.
as much as Rod and I still get along, and we talk, and I love him, but I can't do that. It's just I have to be free that way.
It's funny. I made that the line I wouldn't cross too with my career of
Mhm.
playing with all these great artists is that I wouldn't put on the suit.
Yeah.
Monkey suit.
Yeah, I'm not a suit guy either.
Nah.
Well, here's a question for Trace. You've lived inside the DNA of AC/DC, Joe Perry's world. Were you? Did you work on Joe Perry's first album by any chance?
Nope, I did.
The Joe Perry project.
No, I did. The only albums I've done with Aerosmith or Joe was I did the last Aerosmith record, and I did the last the second to last Joe record before that. And then I did that tour, and I did a bunch of. I worked with Aerosmith for almost 19 years to be exact.
Wow.
So I've been around there a long time.
Huh. How does your influence show up or get reinvented, I guess, in the band?
Oh man, it's funny because when I first started this business, when I was a kid, learn how to play guitar and stuff, I always heard things that nobody else heard. And I don't know. I just always thought that everybody heard the same things that I do, whether it be parts or whether it be things that should go here, this should go there. I've always just kind of been that guy. I was the guy that learned how to use a 4-track before anybody else.
Right,
I learned all the ins and outs. I was that guy, And when I first started with Angus, it was really funny because I said to him, look, there's two of me. I said, there's the guy that just gets paid and doesn't say a word, or there's the guy that tells you when something's wrong, and there's that guy too. Which one do you want? And he said, I want you to be the guy that tells me when something's wrong. So I said, great, you're playing the song wrong. Which he was. Which is a whole other story, but no, it's just because respect is an important thing in this business, and like I said, I kind of came in with it, and then going through the years, I've worked with, everybody from Ronnie Wood to Joe Perry to Rick Nielsen to Phil Collin and Vivian Campbell Love. I've worked with all the rock guys. I've worked with all of them, and it's just it's because of respect. And Peter. I worked with Peter. I always forget to mention Peter because it's somewhere on the list. He's in there. I don't know where. Steve Hunter, Peter. I love you guys. But no, it's just so there's once you have that respect that's what, makes what I do fun on that side of it, because it's like, I find them asking me things, like Joe would never even see his guitar rig until he showed up for the first show. I would build something every year, this massive 28-foot long rig with all kinds of crazy stuff, but it was just something that I knew he would like, and it was fun, and it was always different, so creativity is important. Definitely. That's kind of what makes it all,
I think AC/DC and probably Metallica are the only bands that really can sell out a stadium as a rock band today,
All I can tell you is we were doing 80 to 100,000 people all over the world. It's
Wow.
insane. I
From
mean,
a
it's
bunch
still-
of little guys too.
Well, you know what? They deserve every bit of it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, the work those guys, Tony knows, Tony had been around those guys way back in the day. The work those guys put in, man, it's not just, they didn't fall into this.
Right.
I mean, that song, It's a Long Way to the Top.
Yeah.
That's autobiographical, believe me. Those guys worked their butts off. That's why I just say, we obviously don't have the time to work like that because it would kill every one of us. But I mean, it's refreshing to know that it actually has paid off for band. Metallica the same way. Those guys have been around. They paid their dues over and over and over. I mean, gosh, AC/DC, every time you turn around, tragedy would strike, something bad, and they work through it, and it's refreshing that it paid off. Again, it's the old, just got to stick with it. Make it work.
The energy Agnes has on stage is,
Yeah.
I mean, I get tired just watching them go back and forth.
When I first started, I've been with him almost 11 years, a little over 11 years now. And
Yeah.
11 years ago, I would look up and he'd be gone. I'd be, where did he go? I'd be like looking for him.
He
I
went
don't know how
between
he
your
does it.
legs out the back door.
Yeah, he went to get a sandwich. He'll be back. I was like, where did he go? He was just over there half a second ago. Where did he
Yeah.
go? Yeah, he's unbelievable, the guys.
Tell him not to let his hair go gray, though.
I understand both ways. I
Yeah.
really do. It's to a point where you just go, I mean, we are what we are, right? I mean,
I know.
it's,
I don't want him to look old, though. Because if he's old, I'm old.
believe me, I hate to tell you, I hate to spring it on you, but guess what?
I know.
I mean, there you go. But no, God bless those guys, man. All those guys that have worked that hard and are still around doing it. And people give Brian grief. Oh, Brian doesn't sound good. You know what? If I was 68 years old screaming Hell's Bells,
Oh,
I mean,
those are not easy
Impossible.
songs at all.
no, those
Impossible.
and to get out there and do it. And my wife said it best. She said, what's really cool about those guys? It doesn't matter how great Brian is or not, because people are singing those songs so loud anyways. They don't even
Right.
hear him, because it's all about
Right.
them wanting to relive it one more time, which is great. I mean, I love that. People want to see it one more time. People that have never seen them. Oh my gosh, I
Right.
get people all the time say, I've never seen him. I'm coming to see the show. And I'm like, wow, welcome to the party 50 years later.
I've been
Peter,
to a
what was the first
million.
time you saw him?
I've been to a million concerts. I've never saw AC/DC.
There you go. Peter, when's the first time you saw him?
86, I believe, flying the wall tour.
Tony?
Oh man, well, the story we had to go on.
That was
Oh,
78.
I was 78. We babies had to go on after AC/DC. Was I crapping myself?
my
Yes, I
gosh.
was.
So I'll tell you the story. It was it's a great story. Rockford, Illinois, where I grew up. It was Cheap Trick. Budokan had just hit, and that's where they're from. So they were doing their first headline show in front of 60,000 people in Illinois. It was amazing. And on the lineup was Molly Hatchet, AC/DC, The Babies, and Cheap Trick. Originally it was supposed to be Molly Hatchet, The Babies, AC/DC, and Cheap Trick. And Rick Nielsen said there's no way in hell we're going on after AC/DC. So they put the Babies in between them.
Yeah.
And they pulled it. They went out and pulled it off. And I remember
Baby.
people were still screaming AC/DC for the first song, but they won them over. It took a minute, but
Oh yeah,
that was
No,
pretty terrifying.
It was great, especially after that was the night that I was standing behind Phil Rudd
Yeah.
while they were playing, and M80 came up flying up on stage and
Oh,
landed
wow.
right next to Phil,
Yeah.
and he spun around on his seat because of his roadie was thrown back.
I think he was changing his cymbal at the time, and it blew him off the riser.
And
Jeez.
blood was coming out of his ear, and I got blown back, but not not that much, but I can hear ringing ever since, and that was, I don't know if they were doing Hell's Bells, but I'm hearing bells now.
It was that was still Bon Scott. That was the Highway to Hell tour.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so and then I took my kids to see him in the Forum, and they still talk about it to this day. The best show they've ever seen in their entire life. And for me, same for me. I mean, it was just the excitement and the energy, and how tight it was, and God, it
made me a believer.
They don't phone it in, that's for sure. They work, like I said, they work very hard. They rehearse.
do work.
A lot of bands don't rehearse. They show up and they play. These guys
right.
rehearse.
And what the best part was watching Malcolm just sit back and just almost like leaning on the amp and just keeping it down, holding it down, doing those eighth notes. My Lord,
so good, right?
Oh,
I heard Malcolm was actually the leader of the band. Yeah. You would never know though, just watching him on stage.
No.
Lovely,
lovely man.
Chasen, the kids haven't been out yet. You've been there for a long time.
Well, usually I get here right. They'll be out in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just didn't
wondering.
He's got security keeping him away from the car.
Okay.
I didn't want to travel.
Right.
I didn't want to be driving while we were doing this. So I was like, I'll park it early, get some emails done.
Well, we're excited to be doing this Florida run also because that's Chasen's Mickey Mouse Club stomping grounds to a degree.
That's right.
And he's got a fan base that's going to be showing up for us in a big way, I think, on this run. From what I've been hearing,
we got to call him out.
From what I've been hearing.
Here's a Chasen question. Okay.
Yeah.
You're fronting a band of legends. What did you tap into vocally to carve out your own space in that sound?
Wow. Man, just being around these guys, like talk about rock and roll chronicles. Like I just sit in the van sometimes and just listen to all these amazing stories. But yeah, I mean, believe me, that weighs heavy on my shoulders every night. No, I don't want to let these guys down. Like Trace says, you don't want to see our arms because we have bruises from pinching ourselves. Some of the greatest moments so far have just been, looking up and seeing Peter's grin or seeing Tom grin and kick his hair back, like he's feeling it. It's just knowing that I'm able to, tap into the thing that gets them going, man, just gets me off. I love it so much. And as a kid, I was kind of the rock and roll kid in the Mickey Mouse Club. They often didn't let us do anything crazy, but that was always what I was listening to behind the scenes. And then I went on to do The Party, which was a pop group in the early 90s. And I was the rock and roll guy in that group. I think my first song I recorded at Steve Vai's house, of all people, and had a bunch of rock and roll guys always producing my stuff. Even though we were produced by Dr. Dre and other people, I was just always in awe of the rock and roll world. And it's just insane to me that I've landed in this moment. I remember screenshotting the first time Tom ever texted me. How dumb is that? But I was just like, man, if this goes away, I'm going to remember this right now. Screenshot. Because, it's incredible to be around these guys and be around their history. And I know just knowing Trace when I first met him, he was working with the Stones when I was talking to him. I could hear the Stones in the background talking while he's on the phone with me.
Crap.
And I'm like, oh my God, like he's been around not just the greatest bands of all time, but the greatest singers of all time. Steven, Mick Jagger. I mean, you name it. Cheap Trick. I mean, forget it, dude. That's, so knowing that these guys are inspired by what I do and push me to be my greatest, man, it's such a gift. I got to tell you. And it's only gonna continue to grow. Like Trace said, when I first sent him the song, I'm like, okay, here's the song. He's like, no, more. Give me more of that. And that's what I need. I need somebody to push me to my greatest expectations. So it's just been an honor to be here, man. I'm blown away every night.
Ray, I'm sure you can imagine what it feels like too. I'm just like Chasen in that regard, because I'm sure you can imagine what it feels like if you were sitting in your basement looking at Tony on drums and Tom Hamilton on bass on the couch. Yeah. After I saw both of those guys back in the day, you know, I saw Aerosmith in '76 and saw Tony with Rod Stewart in '81.
So Peter, you're in school. You're just starting to play
You're in
guitar.
school, yeah.
And your buddy says to you, "Hey man, one day Tom Hamilton of Aerosmith and Tony Brockman Babies are going to be sitting on your couch."
Tom,
You're going to go, "Yeah, no."
Tom released his third album the year I was born. You know, and it's just it blows me away. It
I
blows
love
me
those
away that
kind of
he
stories.
and I love that about Tom so much. I wish he
Yeah.
was here to talk about this, but one
Right.
of the greatest things about Tom is like he could be kicking up his heels on a beach somewhere, retired, you know, he's
Yeah.
had enough of this business.
Sure.
And what does he want to do? He wants to keep rocking. You know what I mean? And I
Yep.
love that so much. It means a lot for me to feel that for him, because he wants to continue to rock it all the way. You know what I mean? All the way out. It's all he knows. It's what he wants to do.
Yep.
And all these guys are the same way. It's like we don't know anything else. It's just let's go.
Exactly. I will rock out to the day I die, you know.
Amen.
And I started young too, man. When I was like 6 years old, I was already collecting 45s, you
There
know.
you go. What was your first 45 you bought?
There's two, Purple People Eater by
Oh,
Chef
wow.
Lilly
Cool.
and The Twist by Chubby Checkers.
There you go.
I had the Twist. Twist was one of our first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's driving.
And then of course we got into the Beatles after that, after I saw them on Ed Sullivan. God.
The Broadway.
Mine was Donny Osmond. I'll admit it now.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no!
No.
That's
Here's-
one
I gotta
check
tell you that-
against you right
Yeah,
there.
well, listen, this is a great story. So I was listening to my Donny Osmond record, right?
Oh no.
And my brother walks in and he's got this album with him, and he literally takes the needle. This is the truth, and slides it all the way across. He moves it over and he takes it off. He sets it down. He puts on Kiss Live 1, side
Good for
1,
him.
puts it on and says, "You don't touch this till this side is over. If you want to go back and listen to that crap you were listening to, you can then." Let's
That's
just put it this
funny.
way. I never went back. I flipped that. I listened to all four sides over and over and over.
That's great.
So
That is
yeah,
wonderful.
I'm a reformed Donny Osmond. How's that?
I got last two questions for you guys. Okay. First one, your set list. I mean, do you guys actually play songs from other bands that you've been in or no?
Besides
Yeah.
Donny Osmond, you mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If you play Donny Osmond, I'm not coming to the show.
Dude, there's a really good song. I want to do Crazy Horses by the Osmonds so bad. You ever
Oh,
heard that
God.
song? It is such a heavy, it's like the heaviest of all heavy songs. It's like, it would be amazing. No one's ever done it. I don't know
I
why.
had a chance to interview him, and I said, "Nah,
There's
I can't
there's
do
a
it. I can't
Partridge
do it."
Family number I've been wanting to bring
Oh
to the table.
no!
Which one?
Oh,
All of them. He's like, let me look at my record again.
Happy, whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Can't remember.
Well, my worst case scenario is probably I did like the Spice Girls.
Hold on, I'm giving you a check against you. Okay.
I did like the Spice Girls. Sorry.
So sorry, the question was, do we do any of our other
Yeah.
band stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. The
You
answer
do.
is yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
absolutely.
I know it. There's some Aerosmith songs
Yep.
that I know.
The
So-
babies,
Babies.
the babies
some
are awesome
babies.
too. The
Okay,
jumping in
good.
baby
Good,
songs are
good.
so fun. It is so
Man, I'm
fun to
looking
do
forward
those
to
songs.
this. This
Oh
is
man,
like
we're gonna rock your world, friend.
this is like Ringo's All Star Band, then, in a way, you know,
Without Ringo.
without Ringo. We got Tony. He's Ringo.
We got Dingo. We got
Dingo.
Tony. He's Dingo.
They're still picking on you, Tony. What's going on here?
no, that comes from the English. I forget, it was the two Ronnies or
Yeah.
one of those shows, and he kept calling them up. We got Bingo on drums.
Bingo. Yeah, it was Bingo. That's
And
right.
they couldn't. He refused to call him Ringo.
Oh.
And said, "Hey, Bingo.
Hey,
Hey,
Bingo.
how you doing?" So, I think they're referring to that. They're not picking on me as playing bingo as an old fart.
Well, you got off easy. I heard Steve Marriott in his days when he lived here in Atlanta. He had this guitarist in the band that he nicknamed Donkey Dicks.
Oh, jeez.
So
I love Steve Marriott.
and introduce him that way on stage.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Tony
funny.
Bingo.
There's your
Bingo
final
Brock.
question, guys.
All right.
All right.
I mean, I wear my earplugs.
You know the movie Field of Dreams, right? Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Make
you know-
it and they will come, right?
Yeah,
Build it,
there's,
Mabel.
there's a Field of Dreams
Yeah.
wish that he asks the
Yeah.
doctor. Okay. So
Fine. I didn't
if
have
you had a chance to collaborate with
to-
anyone from the past and present, who would that be? I need to ask each one of you. The number one answer is Paul McCartney, so don't say Paul McCartney.
You know what? I think Steve Marriott from this band would be
Good.
pretty incredible to work with. I
That's-
think we would just be like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I'm going to go with Marriott. I think they'd be
Good
great.
answer. Good answer. Who's
Well,
next?
I could say that I don't know as far as collaborating and writing with, but I know
You know what?
the band that I wish I could have played with would have been Rod Stewart and the Faces.
Really?
That to me epitomized rock and roll when I was growing up. That was to me their whole attitude just as much as the music of just all about the fun, all about taking the piss, never taking it yourselves or the band too seriously, and rocking it.
I'm good.
You know, those guys rock. They just epitomized what I thought rock and roll should be
Yeah.
when I was growing up.
Well, Tony can fix it.
That's what's scarier.
Yeah, I was there, buddy. That was my
Yeah.
Tony,
Sure
what do
was.
you think, buddy?
Oh yeah, yeah, friends.
What you know, that's a loaded question because there's several, but I would love to have worked with John Lennon.
Yep.
I mean, that's I think that's kind of a given, but
Yeah.
but just because of his his melodic sense and what a lot of his songs
Mm-hmm.
meant, and
So early Lennon or later Lennon? Which one?
That was his-
early, I think.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah, early Lennon. Yeah, of
Have
course.
you met
I
him?
loved, I
Have you met
loved
John?
Imagine. Imagine was fabulous.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know.
Tony, have you met John?
I know.
I didn't. No, I met
Yeah.
Paul. You know,
Right.
I think Peter's met Paul. I think several times, but no, I met Paul, and but no, I never got to meet John. I would love to have.
I interviewed Julian. I
Yeah,
had Julian on my show. Yeah.
I've got a picture with me and Rod
Mhm.
and a couple of the other bands players in the band in Julian Lennon's bed.
Yeah. What?
Dude, yeah, but not not in that way.
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
It was the 70s. Don't ask.
We had our clothes on. It was just
Okay, good.
it's a shot with that,
Yeah.
Julian Lennon. Yeah.
He's such a nice guy, and I love Julian's music as well.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough of a break, does he?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. You would think he'd get a big break being the son of John Lennon, but he doesn't.
I think it's tougher to be John Lennon.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Even Sean. Sean's got some good music out there too.
Yeah,
And Yoko.
yeah. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
We
dear.
just went as far south as we're ever going to go. Chasen, how about you? Who do you want to add to the band?
Again, that's a really tough question. As many Motown legends I'd
Yeah.
love to sing with.
Yeah.
I gotta say I'm probably most highly influenced by Skinner.
By Skinner, really?
And Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh wow.
I loved Grand Funk Railroad growing up. Just that power trio and his voice.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would-
friends
I would
with
be-
Mark. I know.
Are you?
Dude, yeah, see, I would. He's incredible. I
Mark
would
would
love
be
to
great.
sing with him. Yeah, I would mimic him in my apartment in Hollywood when I first moved out there, and I would just. That'd be like my vocal exercise would be to sing closer to home for 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
just I
He's
love that
such a
band.
nice guy.
And I love Skinner for the storytelling and the personality. I'm originally from Oklahoma, so I'm all about the southern rock. So
Yeah.
I
That's where Steve Gaines is from, He's in
Yeah.
Oklahoma. He's in
I
Oklahoma.
hung out with the original Leonard Skinner back in, I think it was 74. and I watched them rehearse. It was just me and four other guys. Saturday Night Special. That was their new
Wow.
song, and they
Yeah.
rehearsed that. And they passed the joint around, and I got to get high with Skinner, the original
That's
Skinner
great.
with Ronnie Van Sant and everything. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, I used to work there at that venue at the Capitol Center in D.C.
Tony made me invite.
Oh,
Incredible.
so
I only
good.
have one Skinnerd experience. I never saw them back in the day, but back in the day, a lot of the bands would stay in my neighborhood in Greensboro, North Carolina, at this Hilton Hotel. And so a friend of mine and I would go over there and crash the hotel because the band would always have an entire floor. That was back in the day.
Mhm.
And it would be like the scene in Almost Famous, the hallway scene in Almost Famous. And so on this particular occasion, it was when Skinner were at their height in the 70s. And so it would have been 75 or 76. And we went downstairs they had the lowest level of the floor, which was below the lobby level. So we went down the elevator, the doors opened, the smoke hit you at chest level. The hall was just jam-packed full of people. There was a roadie that this is politically so wrong this day of age, but there was a roadie that had two girls by the necks or the hair, bringing them towards the elevator, and there's Ronnie in the foreground with a bottle of Jack going, I'm going to call the law. I'm going to call the law. And it blew my friend, it blew our minds to see that. We were stunned. We just could not move. And we just let those elevator doors
And you
shut.
left.
And we went back upstairs and we walked out.
Wow.
Sometimes it's better not knowing, huh, Peter?
Well, she's done
Yeah, I think you're right. I was backstage at a British
now she will
invasion show,
somewhere.
and it was Gary and the Pacemakers, the Herman Hermits,
Oh,
a lot
man.
of people, and the Trogs invited
Oh, hey, oh God.
up to their hotel room, and I don't think so.
When you
If my wife wasn't there, I'd probably go. You know.
Oh well, that Trugs tape is still the most famous tape ever. You know.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Reggie
Yeah.
was there, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
almost the original Trogs, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact. Yeah,
Dabba.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were great. I didn't
You
want to
know
hang
that
out with
riff
the
well,
Trogs.
don't you, Tony?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, Tony's got some
Just-
stories, right?
Yeah. Well, just quickly adding to that, I would love to have written with Otis Redding.
Oh,
And
man. no kidding.
going back in that day, you know, that's what I grew up on. You know,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that's where the English get that backbeat from.
That's
we
right.
stole it. We stole it from you guys and made it ours. You know?
Yeah. One of the guys that really brought it out was John Mayall.
Yeah.
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 I covered John Mayall in Sarasota for his 80th birthday.
Oh, cool.
And I've interviewed him several times, but he actually set up his equipment on stage himself. And he signed autographs and signed his own CDs to everybody. I mean, he was doing everything himself. It was amazing.
Sounds like us. Sounds
You know
like
what?
us, boys.
Like you guys.
Tony, I just realized something. If I was just thinking, is there any other bass player that I would love to hear you play with in this band? If James Jamerson walked in and played with you back, how amazing would that be, Peter? It'd be like
Oh my
a whole
lord!
nother groove, man.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Imagine.
He was
Yeah.
the
You know,
man.
it's funny you mentioned John Mayall. I just ordered a John Mayall CD off of eBay. It's the one that features Mick Taylor.
Oh, wow. There
Mick
you go.
Taylor was great.
Because I don't have that one. I have, of course, the Blues Breakers with Clapton and
Yeah.
with Peter Green. But this was the last Blues Breakers album with Mick Taylor when he was,
Yeah.
I think he was
You didn't get
18,
vinyl? You got
18
CD?
or 19. CD.
No vinyl?
I should get the vinyl too, but I started with the CD. I found it. It's hard to find. It's not even up on Spotify.
Wow.
I knew the promoter for the Sarasota show, and I asked him, I says, I need the set list, John Mayall's set list, because I'm covering the show. He grabs me opens the door to John's dressing room and throws me in and shuts the door.
There's your set list.
And it's just me and John Mayo, and I see a birthday cake, and he's got that beautiful guitar that's got like aqua on it, and stones and stuff like that.
Wow.
I said, John, do you have your set list? He says, I only got one copy, but you can, copy it down. And then I hung out with John Mayo. I mean, it was, I was thinking maybe Eric Clapton would show up or somebody like that because it was his 80th birthday, but nobody showed up.
You did?
I did, yeah. That was cool.
Awesome.
He was such a good guy.
One of those foldable stoves.
I want to say thank you to you guys for being on the show today. Please try to get me into the show here in Sarasota.
Done.
I will cover the show, and that's more PR for the band. Okay.
Bring it.
No,
Consider it done, brother.
I appreciate it. I want to say
Peter, you want to
special
send him the
thanks.
link as soon as we're off? Can
Yeah,
you do
great.
that? Okay.
Yeah, I think tickets are cheap, but it'd be nice to be a guest,
Got you.
no,
Yes, man.
we've
Yeah,
got you, my friend.
I was
No, it's-
recently guest of Joan Jett, and I was on stage with Joan. It was really cool.
That was my
Now
first
you're
record.
asking a lot. Now you want to be on stage with us. Next you're going to want to play bass or something.
I'll play tambourine.
There you go. Bring it.
Okay. I want to say special thanks to Shauna O'Donnell
So,
from O'Donnell Media Group for arranging this interview today with Close Enemies. And watch for the debut album released by Close Enemies. It's available on March 13th. Now, I want to mention this. There's a signed out. You can get a signed album. It's limited to 200 copies. You want to talk about that real quick? It's a vinyl release, and it's a colored vinyl. And it's signed by the band, right? But there's only 200 available.
There's only probably maybe under 10 left.
It's a handful.
Really, only 10
Just a
left.
handful.
Wow.
You better get on it soon. It's we call it is it the Cosmic Blue? Is that what we said?
Supernova Blue, baby.
Supernova
That's a
Blue,
good
baby.
idea.
Nova Blue.
It's a line in one
That's
of our
over
songs.
That's
That's a
over at
great idea.
closeenemiestheband.com. If
Yeah.
uh,
And if
That's
you're going
right.
to get it by the time this comes out, it could be gone. But there's a couple. There's a couple left hanging around. That's
Guys,
it.
I hate to say it, it's sold out.
It's
Oh, is it?
Okay, now we know.
Yeah.
So they're gone.
You gonna do it again?
See, we just,
Maybe for next
in that 2 minutes we talked about it, it's already gone.
It's
Oh,
already
All
no,
200
no,
of
I'm
them.
sorry. That was something else. That was the wrong one. My bad.
There's 300 available now.
Scratch that. There was 1,100 available. No, there's only 11 left.
11
11.
left.
Okay, there
guys.
you go.
Sounds right.
Everybody,
There you go. That
There
sounds
you go.
more like it.
Yeah,
All right.
after this interview, it'll be done. It'll be gone.
There
There
you
won't
go,
be any
Ray.
more
Thank
left.
you. You going to buy them?
Probably, yeah. I
Hey,
think
you
so.
can
I'll
sell
buy
it for-
all 11. How's that?
There you go, buddy.
I want to mention you
All right.
guys, Close Enemies, theband.com. You're on Instagram. You're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and you guys are also on TikTok.
TikTok, all that stuff, yeah.
And we're at your nearest Kroger shopping center. Or grocery.
Future
All right,
Farmers
Jason,
of
pick up the
America,
refrigerator.
we're in all those.
Where are the kids, Jason?
they're coming out. I got about 10 minutes, and they're gonna
Okay,
be
good.
they're gonna be like,
Man, you're a good dad. You
There's about 15 other parents looking at him talking to himself in the car right now.
exactly.
if you
Going,
don't
that
remember,
guy's nuts.
if you don't remember how
Exactly.
pickup is, these moms get here early, and you got to fight for a
I
spot. Or you're
know.
screwed.
I know.
So-
It's so bad, isn't it? Yeah, I remember those days.
My
You
wife,
will
I
actually
wasn't
find-
in the in crowd. They always looked at me like I was weird. All the moms would get together, and it was me and
Yeah.
the dad, and they would just wouldn't even look at me, because I was just weird.
yeah.
You'll actually find Tony and I on Tuesdays. We meet up at a Walmart and try our latest wardrobe.
At Walmart, huh? Very classy.
Used to be Target, but times are tough. So
Yeah, I can understand that.
Now
I
they
hope
got-
to see you guys in Sarasota, man.
you'll be there, buddy.
All right, dude. I'll buy you guys a beer or whatever.
That sounds
Thank you,
great.
brother. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We
Thanks
take
a
care,
lot.
my
Thank you,
friend.
buddy.
All right,
Thank
take
you
bless
care.
very much.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Appreciate you.
Take
Save
care.
rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll.
One person at a time. Bye, guys. I'm out.